have to ask you something right off the bat. Have you felt off today?
Oh, absolutely.
And I don't mean just tired. I mean, have you felt a specific kind of tension in the air lately? Like a low-grade hum or vibration where everyone just seems a little on edge?
Or your technology is glitching for absolutely no reason.
Yes.
All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something I think we all know. Those days that are just filled with this intense, almost electric, and totally unpredictable energy. We're going to use a really powerful story as our guide to figure out how to channel all that chaos into real momentum. So yeah, let's get right into it. I mean, you know the feeling, right? It's one of those days where the air itself just seems to crackle. You feel restless, maybe a little irritable. And there's this sense that everything is on the verge of either breaking through or, well, just breaking. It's that hum, that vibration you can't quite put your finger on. Okay, so to really get a handle on this, let's look at a specific cosmic weather forecast, the energy of February 27th, 2026. Now, this is the kind of day where any big, bold move you make could be met with a sudden, unexpected twist. It forces you to be flexible, to rethink everything on the fly, and really figure out what actually matters. And what's so wild about a day like this is the tension. You can literally feel it in the air. It's this friction between an intense drive to do something and this gut feeling that something fundamental has got to change. You might feel super activated, almost reactive, and just easily frustrated. It's like all this pressure is building up and it's about to pop. So what is actually causing this feeling? Where is all this pressure coming from? Well, in astrological terms, there's a very specific alignment at play. So let's break down exactly what this is.
Okay, so the culprit here is an alignment called Mars square Uranus. And you can basically think of it as a high-impact energy explosion. See, Mars is the planet of action, of drive, right? And Uranus is the planet of rebellion and sudden, shocking change. So when they're in a square aspect, it creates this incredibly provocative, unstable tension that it cannot stand stagnation. Things can happen out of the blue. Shocks are pretty common.
And this is exactly what I can feel like inside your own head. You get that intense restlessness, that really short fuse. There's this overwhelming impulse to just do something, anything, to break free. Your patience runs super thin, and there's a real danger of, reacting before you think, or even picking fights just to let off some of that steam. Which brings us to the big question, right? When you're feeling all this immense pressure to act, to break things, to just move, whether it's a good idea or not, what do you actually do with it? Because this energy is powerful for sure, but it absolutely demands direction. In that direction, it can really go one of two ways. You can either give in to reckless, chaotic disruption, or you can learn how to channel it into what we're going to call strategic rebellion. And trust me, the choice between those two makes all the difference. Yeah. Take a look at this slide because this is really the heart of it. On one side, you've got reckless disruption. That's acting without thinking, picking a fight just to get that tension out, making some sudden move just to shake things up. It's giving in to that raw, irrational anger. But on the other side, that's strategic rebellion. That's about questioning the old habits that are making you feel stuck while still respecting the parts of your life that actually work. It's about channeling that incredible energy into creativity and intentional, focused action. To really see how this plays out, let's dive into a story. It's about a city teetering on the brink of collapse and a woman named Mara who has to make this exact choice, the one between reckless disruption and strategic rebellion. So our story starts in a place called the city that would not sit still. For days, this unnamed tension has just been building and building. It's a vibration that everyone feels. Screens flicker, arguments spark over absolutely nothing, people are walking faster, speaking sharper, the whole city is just restless. Now, Mara works for the Grid Authority, and her whole job is to maintain the city's power, to ensure stability. But here's the thing. Under the city's ruling council, stability has become just another word for oppression. We're talking curfews, rationing, total control. The very system she's supposed to protect now feels like a cage, one that's brittle and just ready to snap. And then it happens. The crisis hits. She's in the control room, and the grid just surges wildly, completely out of control. Her supervisor barks an order to follow protocol, isolate a vulnerable, poorer sector, which will cause a massive failure there, but protect the wealthy districts. It's standard procedure. Preserve order at the expense of people. So, as her hand is hovering over the shutdown sequence, she's got this choice.
Obey? Or just smash the whole system out of rage? And right then, a memory of her mother's voice just cuts through all that noise. It's this one crucial piece of wisdom. Power isn't rage, Mara. It's direction. It's the idea that just tearing a door off its hinges isn't the same as learning where the lock gives. Power isn't pure rage. It's focused, intentional direction. And in that split second, she makes her choice. She doesn't blindly rebel, but she doesn't blindly obey either. She performs an act of pure, strategic rebellion. She diverts that massive, chaotic energy surge into these old, experimental circuits, the ones that have been dismissed as too risky. See, she doesn't try to contain the pressure. She gives it a new, productive path to follow.
And the result? The grid stabilizes. The city avoids a total blackout. And when her shocked supervisor confronts her, she explains the core lesson perfectly. The system was already broken. It didn't need to be punished with a shutdown. It needed to be redesigned.
Okay, so what does this all mean for us? Mara's story isn't just a cool story. It's a blueprint. It's a model for how we can handle this exact kind of pressure in our own lives.
So here's the takeaway, broken down into 4 simple steps. First, identify the pressure. Just feel that restless, irritable energy and acknowledge it without immediately acting on it. Just sit with it for a second. Second, question the protocol. What are the outdated rules or habits in your life that are causing this feeling of being stuck? Third, find the dormant channels. What are those creative, innovative ideas you've put on a shelf because they seemed too risky? And finally, number 4, act with direction. Apply your energy toward a deliberate redesign, not just blind, angry rebellion.
Because here's the crucial point. Taking action when you feel stuck feels fantastic. It's such a release. But reckless action, the kind that comes from pure, undirected frustration, it doesn't actually solve the problem. In fact, it usually just creates a whole bunch of new ones.
And that really leaves us with this one final thought. Take a look at your own life, your job, your relationships, your personal habits. Where is the pressure building up for you? And more importantly, where is a system in your life ready for a thoughtful, strategic redesign instead of a complete demolition? Because that's where the real breakthrough is.
Control without evolution invites collapse.
Control without evolution invites collapse. That is definitely the one to chew on.
Ask yourself, if you are holding onto a structure, a habit, a career plan, a belief that desperately needs to breathe, because tomorrow, the universe is going to demand that it evolves. It is much better to open the valve yourself than wait for the pipe to burst.
Powerful stuff. Thank you for helping us decode all of this today.
Always a pleasure to dive in.
And thank you for joining us on the deep dive. Good luck with the energy tomorrow. Keep those timelines flexible. Look for the locks that are ready to give, and don't force the door. We'll catch you next time.